Hello, church family. Ron Branscombe here. I hope you are doing well, and I pray that your Thursday is a blessed day. And so let's dig into Ezekiel chapter 42, and a lot of description, some more description on the rooms of the temple that Ezekiel is sharing from his vision. And the rooms that are going to be focused on today deal with the chambers and the relation to the priests. And these particular chambers are 3 stories. So to me, there's either quite a bit of opportunity for storage of grains and various things that are being given for sacrifice and offerings, and then also for storage, which we'll talk a little bit about here. But I want to kind of skip to verses 13, where it talks about the priests who approach the Lord will eat the most holy offerings. There they will put the most holy offerings, the grain offerings, the sin offerings, and the guilt offerings, for the place is holy. Once the priests enter the holy precincts, they are not to go into the outer court until they leave behind the garments in which they minister, for these are holy. They are to put on other clothes before they go near the places that are for the people. And so you see a distinction here of the chambers being for the priests, and that they are to partake in the offering as they're part of the food or their service. But there are set parameters that God is putting in place for the priests, and specifically in regard to the clothing, the garments in which they are ministering within. And really, it's really the word holy is brought up many times in those few scriptures I just read. And it's hard for me to imagine the ability to be in the presence of God, and for those ministers, and for them to take off that gear, and then when they do go outside of the temple to be in their everyday gear with the people, that there's a distinction there of when they're with God and then when they're not with God. And so I found that to be interesting. And then later on in the chapter, well, let me just say this too. Everything in this temple is according to plan, God's plan. And the last verse here in chapter 42 says, "So he measured the area on all 4 sides. It had a wall around it, 500 cubits long and 500 cubits wide, to separate the holy from the common." Now, I'm not real sure exactly what that means, but to me, it's God is protecting he's protecting the sacredness of this particular temple and this particular area. And so God's holiness is not common. It's definitely not common by man, but there is that separation of God being holy, man not being holy. Now, we're to strive to be holy. God calls us to be holy, but you get a distinction here of what holiness is. That's a real brief summary of chapter 42. I hope you have a blessed day, and Lord willing, we will see you on Sunday. Take care. God bless.